Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cup Half Full podcast. I'm your host, Martika Shanel, and today we are diving into a topic that can be very exciting for some and dreadful for some others. We're talking about Valentine's Day, you all. And with me, I have our guest, Dontryse Greer, and she is a dedicated mental health professional serving the Lexington, Kentucky community. Dontryse is also a certified social worker who brings a wealth of experience and expertise and compassion to her work. She's currently giving back to her community by working at her alma mater, which is Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. And in addition to her work at the school, Dontryse also provides therapeutic services at Wellness Within, which is a private practice in Lexington, Kentucky. Her expertise includes a range of evidence based modalities, including EMDR, ART, sand tray therapy, CBT, and DBT. Everyone, welcome. Welcome, Dontryse. Thank you for being on today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, and just to let the people know, we go way back to high school, and it's always beautiful whenever you can see your classmates who have become friends and family flourishing in their own right. It's even more of a beautiful thing for this moment to come full circle. So, thank you again. In terms of Valentine's Day, it's a day of romance, chocolates, candy, flowers, the whole nine, right? And for some, it's a very beautiful holiday. However, for some, it can also bring up some complex feelings. And so we're going to explore the relationship between Valentine's Day and mental health. So to get us started with the basics, Don Treese, how can a holiday like Valentine's Day impact our brains? What is that relationship like between Valentine's Day and mental health?
Well, I think with any holiday, depending on your relationship with the holiday and your experiences that you've had with that holiday, it can cause anxiety, depression, just unwanted emotions. So, it's just the experience and the mindset that we have for the holiday that can kind of shape how we feel. But everything is a mindset, so it's just how we look at things and just our practices for that. And so I look forward to just giving some tips on how to shift our mindset from especially singles, but also it can affect those in relationships as well too. So just how to shift our mindset and just some tips to adjust our thinking and our experiences with Valentine's Day.
Okay, yes, I can see that how it can significantly affect those who maybe are in a partnership of some sort. But what are there any pressures for those who are in relationships? Can it also affect them too in a not so positive light?
Yeah, actually, ironically, I was just having a conversation with a couple today, and the male was like, "Is it just a female holiday? Females put so much pressure on men during Valentine's Day, and they also want to be." Celebrated and everything as well, right? Like it's a joint holiday. It's not just, for one person.
Mhm.
But I would suggest that that be a conversation that's had between a couple because a lot of times I feel like there's pressure on seeing other relationships and other people and what they're doing. But
Mhm.
relationships is all about communication. So communicating with your partner what you expect, what that looks like for you, and just having that understanding and not um, comparing because comparison is just that's
Mhm.
a whole shift of everything, right? Like when we compare
Yes.
ourselves, we mess up a whole lot of things, right? So
Mhm.
just not comparing yourself to other people and other relationships and just having that communication with your partner and that expectation that you all have amongst each other.
I like that. And that's even, just aside from Valentine's Day, that comparison aspect of anything can destroy and just kind of put a thwart in what you have going on, right? You're looking at someone else and then you're trying to either mimic or exceed what their performance is or what they have going on. So I like that you pointed that out. What can people do to help navigate these challenges and protect their well-being during this time?
So especially for singles, like it's just like anything else, like goal setting. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So you
Yeah.
know season is coming up, and you know that Valentine's Day just gets you in a mood because your auntie and your cousins are asking why you ain't haven't found nobody yet, and all these emotions come up. It magnifies what one already feels, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
you're really content all the rest of the year, but because this day has come and it's magnifying relationships, and you are maybe not in one, or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
um, you are that you're going to be in a funk. So I would definitely recommend, like, treat yourself. Like, that is the number one thing, single or in relationship. Loving yourself first. Like, if you're in a relationship and you don't love yourself or you don't value yourself, it's going to show in your relationship as well. So singles and those
Mm-hmm.
relationships, make sure you treat yourself how you want to be treated, on that day and all the days outside of that day, right? If you like to dress up, you like to go to a nice dinner, you can do that
Yeah.
alone. You can dress yourself up, make your own reservations, go out to dinner, buy
Mm-hmm.
yourself flowers, schedule a massage. What do you
Mm-hmm.
enjoy to do? What makes you happy? What brings you joy? And do that, and plan that. Like, plan it out just like you had a date. And that's also
Right.
good for singles, because in that, you're setting the standard for whoever
Mm-hmm.
to come. So I just really suggest that you plan out a date for yourself. Or maybe you don't want to go out, but you want to sit in the house and watch a movie. Or you got girlfriends that are single. Get
Yes.
friends, go out on Valentine's Day with your homegirls. Like, just plan a evening that that you will be occupied. I don't want to say distracted, because I really
Right.
believe that we need to feel our feelings, and acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
how we feel, and ask yourself why you feel the way you feel, but do
Mm-hmm.
some things that will bring you joy, instead of magnifying the thing that might bring you sadness or anxiety or anything like that.
I like that. Just aside from Valentine's Day, it's already building that foundation of self-love. I'm a big proponent of that. What if someone, this is their first stab at trying to cultivate some sort of relationship with themselves in regards to self-love? What are some tips that you have for them to get started?
Just, who are you? What do you like? Like, and the things that you like, do those things. It can be hard. I am a big advocate. I mean, I love going out by myself. Like, I like doing things when I want
Yes.
to. So doing it by myself makes it easy to just get up and go. But everyone
Yes.
like that, and a lot of people don't know how to take that first step in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's not your thing, but just journaling, that's one thing too. Like, taking time out to get to know you, taking time out to see what you like what you like to do, try new things. I'm not really good with technology and like YouTube and TikTok and all those things, but I am learning that if it's certain things that you like I'm working on trying to tame my natural hair, right? And so I'm bit on
Yes.
YouTube, watching these videos of women who have um, grown in that. Like, that's what they do. Like, they've practiced, and
Right.
so they're not giving other people tips. Go on YouTube and look, like, oh, see what you like. Do you like, what is a person that you see on those platforms doing
Right.
that you feel like would be good for you? Like, you know what I mean? So just trying new things, getting to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the only way you get to know if you like something is to try it. So.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's something that I've personally practiced for quite some time. I know when I had my first big girl job and I was in Chicago, and you have to befriend yourself or you will miss out on a lot of things. So I remember taking myself to the movies, walking to, in Hyde Park, and just experiencing things for myself, because you'll miss out on a lot of things just by waiting on someone else.
Mhm.
And now everyone around me knows, like, I'm going on the trip, and if you're going, well, you're welcome, but I'm going regardless of not, if anyone else is going. So I like that you said that. And it also, it helps to build this sort of this independence about yourself and confidence too, almost like dating yourself. Would you
Mhm.
say?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What about those who are combating loneliness specifically? Those who maybe they haven't had the opportunity to be in a loving relationship, or one where, or they may be going through a difficult time in their current relationship. and they feel alone. The concept of the single married woman, for example. What does advice look like for that particular audience?
I would say it always goes back to self, right? Because loneliness
Hmm.
is a emotion that you feel because there's a void there, right? So
Hmm.
I'm a woman of faith, so I feel
Hmm.
like having that relationship, and you don't have to be a Christian. You can have other, just having a higher power. That's also something that is very important with mental health. That is a component that we look for and try to make sure that somebody has somebody that they look at higher than who they are, because there's something
Hmm.
higher than us, right? Um,
Absolutely.
so maybe tapping into that, going back to what do you like to do sometimes, and figuring out why do you feel lonely in that situation. Like maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
time for you to leave that situation, or maybe it's
Hmm.
time for you to be honest with that person. Like maybe you feel lonely because you're holding things in that people can't read minds. Like maybe there's something that you feel but your partner doesn't know you feel that way, but if you just had a conversation, the whole trajectory of your relationship can change. Another thing I would recommend too is find your village. Find the people who are into the things that you're into, the people who are going to support you and be there for you, the people who can look at you when you're not saying a word and see that
Right.
something is missing. Um, and the way you do that is doing things that you enjoy doing, because you'll find your circle in doing things that you enjoy doing because you guys have the same interests. So relationships are bigger than romance relationships. You want to find those relationships and friendships in your community. So I would say first start with yourself, because you will
Hmm.
always feel lonely. You can be in a room full of people that you enjoy, that you love, and still feel lonely if you haven't done
Absolutely.
the work to pour into yourself and take time out for you. And I mean, that can be a journey. And maybe, as a therapist, it's easy to just say that, but I also recommend
Hmm.
that people get therapy services. Like connect with somebody, a therapist, or somebody that you trust. I wouldn't say just anybody. I would say get you a therapist, and be able to process out those feelings and kind of work through some things, to help with, figuring out where you are and how you can get past that hump in your life.
Hmm. I like that. Communication. I always say communication is a beautiful thing, but communication, that self-care piece and connection. Like if you have those, the ability to really ground yourself on those three things alone, you can even apply that, as Dontryse is saying, to other sectors of in your life, right? The workplace, and your family relationships. Because whenever you have a strong sense of who you are and you do have that sort of centeredness, you're able just to navigate more easily, and things don't affect you personally so much. It's not as heavy whenever you do experience those kinds of things, because you know yourself, as Andres is saying, and you have your village to fall on for support and to lift you up whenever you need it. So I like those three things. I like that. Building connections outside of your romantic relationships, important. Good. Any final thoughts on the subject matter, Dontrice, before we get into your services and what you have to offer everyone?
No, I would just say Valentine's Day can be beautiful, and I will self-disclose that I am single, and that I am intentional, and not because I don't want to be lonely and feel alone, but like I said, I like doing things by myself. So, like, I mean, I will say like Valentine's Day, and sometimes I don't even want anybody to come with me. Like, no, I want to have my dinner and I want to dress up and I want to treat myself. Feel free to send the cash app if you like, but it is my
Mhm.
time. So I just really would say like find the beauty in Valentine's Day, and even in relationships, celebrate each other all year long and have that open communication and honesty, so that one day is not shaking up your whole week or your month or your life. It's so much more than a day. So take care of yourself and be happy, find joy, and enjoy life.
I like that. Yes, I like that. And since we're self-disclosing, I am single too, and I'm gonna have a great time on Valentine's Day. I am, yeah, because I'm choosing that for myself. I'm choosing happiness. There are different times where I want to be around others. I'm very extroverted, but other times I just want to just be with self and enjoy my own company. And so it's a beautiful thing whenever you're able to get to that place of unconditional happiness. And yeah, I like that. Thank you for sharing. And Valentine's Day, like she said, is also another option too, which we do here throughout the year.
I don't want to fib because this year for Valentine's Day I am hanging out with my girls. We were trying to plan a day and we were trying to figure out, and I was like, well, anybody got a date? And everybody was like, no, we don't have a date. And I'm like, so why not do it on Valentine's Day? And they was like, oh yeah, let's do that. So this year I am hanging out with my girls, but other years I have celebrated myself by myself. So
Nice. Love that. Love that for you. Since we're coming to an end, go ahead, Dontryse. How can someone go about booking a service with you, connecting with you?
okay, so I love, thank you so much for the opportunity and the shout out. Currently, right now, I am booked. My books are booked right now. However, if I do my job correctly, somebody will fall off. So if you do want to get on my waiting list, I would love to have you and love to help you. But also, the agency that I work for is a Black owned agency for all my Black women and men that want people that look like them. We do have a diverse population of therapists, but please feel free to look us up. It's called Wellness Within. So you can Google that, Wellness Within in Lexington, Kentucky. You do have to have Kentucky insurance. You can reach out to me if you want to find me on Facebook, Dontryse Greer, or I am on IG, Your Favorite Therapist 24. You can find me on there. I can help connect you. You know, I don't know people in all states, but I connected some people in the DC area just because I had communication with a therapist there and I was able to get them connected. So if you are not in the Kentucky area, but you are looking for some mental health support, I am open to helping you navigate that or helping you find the right questions to ask. If you know Martika and you don't know how to find me, reach out to her and I would love to help you because we need to take the taboo off of mental health and what that does. It's a beautiful thing just to have somebody who's not in your immediate circle who can give you a fresh perspective and just support you as you navigate this thing called life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. I will share her links as well in the description. So feel free to reach out to her. And yes, thank you so much for being on Dontryse. We appreciate you. And to everyone, yes, you're welcome. And to everyone who has tuned in and has been supportive, I wish you joy, peace, and unconditional happiness. Until next time. Bye.